We're live. Get ready for Kraken Blue Jackets here as the Kraken continue their road swing through the east side of the country. Let me pull up some other scores and stuff here across not only the NFL or the NHL, but the NFL as well. Oh wow, the Texans are all over the Browns. But anyway, Kraken chance to win 9 in a row, a franchise record. 9 in a row if they beat the Blue Jackets here today in Columbus. Oliver Bjorkstrand, obviously the the all-star for the Kraken, came to the Kraken from Columbus, so his second return home to Columbus after joining the Kraken at the start of last season. So obviously his first time back since being an NHL all-star. For the Kraken, it'll be currently an 8-game win streak, 12-game point streak. They've got Columbus and then a back-to-back Monday, Tuesday, so good chance here to make it 13 games with points in a row and 9-game winning streak. And then they go to Pittsburgh and New York back-to-back on Monday and Tuesday in that order, if I'm not mistaken. Make sure. NHL, Kraken, schedule. Yeah, there it is. Yep. So Columbus tonight, then Monday, Pittsburgh, Tuesday, New York. The game on Monday, so it is a back-to-back, but the game on Monday is a 10 a.m. game. So Kraken, it's a back-to-back, but they do it's kind of like a day and a half between instead of which does kind of mean they've got, a little voice crack there. Sorry, got a little throat bug here over the last couple days, so my voice might come in and out a little bit, but we're going to work through it. Got tons of tea, cough drops. We got the whole works. We'll make it work with the voice. But yeah, Kraken, 10 a.m. Pittsburgh on Monday, then 4 p.m. New York on Tuesday. And yeah, things get a little bit harder here. Columbus is having a tough time. 13, 20, and 9 for the Blue Jackets. So the same number of overtime losses as the Kraken. But they are, let's see here. So obviously 35 points. See how they've been doing lately. So they're on an okay stretch. Lots of overtime for the Blue Jackets here of late, coming off of a 5-0 loss on Tuesday against Winnipeg. So they're coming off a few days break. But yeah, the loss there to Winnipeg pretty big. Overtime loss to Minnesota before that. A shootout win against Philadelphia, but then a couple more losses. So they're lots of losses, lots of overtime games. Could be a low-scoring affair. We'll see with the Kraken. They've obviously started to pick up the scoring here a little bit of late. See, Columbus. So Columbus currently sitting bottom of the Metropolitan Division. I just want to make sure that was right. But 42 games into their season, so Columbus has played the one more game than the Kraken, but sitting on 10 fewer points, 35 points, with that 13, 20, and 9 record. 3-3-4 in their last 10. So yeah, lots of overtime games, lots of overtime losses, similar to what we saw the Kraken do kind of in the middle of November. Before that losing streak got started, they were kind of doing a lot of overtime losses and that kind of stuff. So yeah, the Blue Jackets are sitting at the bottom of the Metropolitan with those 35 points, which, you know, they'd be ahead of Chicago in the Central, and they'd be ahead of both Anaheim and San Jose in the Pacific. But still not a great season for the Blue Jackets here. Another disappointing campaign for them, unfortunately. Personally, I like the Blue Jackets. I've always had kind of a soft spot for the Blue Jackets, a underdog story type of thing. I will say I always want them to do well when they're wearing their Cannon jerseys, because I feel like they should just always wear those Cannon jerseys, but is what it is. Let's see. Andreas says, new franchise record today. Knock on wood there. Knock on wood, but possibly new franchise record for the Kraken. If they win it, it'll be a franchise record 9 straight wins, and extending the franchise record already 12-game point streak. 10-0-2 in their last 12 games. Hey, what's cracking, Kraken fans? Says James. Welcome in, welcome in. What's up, says CarJ30 Edits. Hey, so excited to join you guys for the first time. Let's go Kraken. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm gonna, excuse me while I pop a cough drop here. had this like weird like tickle in the back of my throat. Fortunately, I can't get anybody sick while streaming, so that's good. Germs don't work that way. They don't go through the internet or the 5Gs or anything like that. In spite of what some people might want to tell you. So you're all safe. And I'm secluded down in my basement, so everyone in the house is safe as well. Hello, I've been watching a lot from Sweden, or a lot of Swedish hockey, sorry, and getting into the NHL now. Which team should I root for? I'm interested in Canucks or maybe Minnesota Wild. How are they? The Canucks have been fantastic this season. Both of those teams have histories of good regular seasons for the most part. The Canucks maybe not so much until this year. They've had a couple of tough years, but both of those teams have had a fair amount of success getting to the playoffs in their history, but neither one's won a Stanley Cup. Minnesota's never been to a Stanley Cup. Minnesota really has kind of a reputation for getting to the playoffs and then losing in the first or maybe the second round, but usually the first round. Fantastic jerseys, though. I mean, the Wild, aside from my bias for the Kraken jerseys, and this is the Winter Classic, but aside from my bias for the Kraken jerseys, the Wild probably have my favorite jerseys in the NHL. Actually, there's no probably about it. They do have my favorite jerseys in the NHL, aside from the bias towards the Kraken jerseys, but so if you're into like just the style between those two, I'd go Wild. Although I do like the Canucks look as well, the blue and green. Not as big a fan of the retro Canucks look that they kind of started leaning back towards of the black with red and yellow, but a lot of people seem to like it. So looks a little bit too much like the Flames for me, which is one of their Western Canadian rivals. But it depends on what you like. If you just want a team that's going to be successful, right now the Canucks are definitely doing that. The Wild, not so much. The Wild do have Kirill Kaprizov, who's probably the most exciting player between those two teams. Plus, they have, at least for the rest of this year, Marc-Andre Fleury, who's one of the most well-liked players in the NHL, and a future Hall of Fame goaltender, although he's definitely at the end of his career here. The Canucks have some great players. Quinn Hughes, obviously great on the defensive end. One of those three Hughes brothers, the other two in New Jersey. They've also got Elias Pettersson, who's a pretty good player. Very good player, I would say. The Canucks kind of have been a team that's they've had the talent for a few years now, but they've struggled to really put it together and turn the talent into actual results on the ice. And now they've finally done that this year so far, so the Canucks should be pretty successful, I would think, here for a few years to come. Unfortunately for the Kraken. Personally, I would say you should cheer for the Kraken. Maybe a little bias there as well, but newest team in the NHL. So if you're new to the NHL, the Kraken are the newest team in the NHL, so you can kind of jump on pretty early on with the franchise. You don't have to learn too much about the history of the franchise. It's just 3 years long, or 2.5 years. Still plenty of history in Seattle, though. So there's the Metropolitans that won the first U.S. Stanley Cup way back in 1917. If you're from Sweden and you're watching Swedish hockey because you're Swedish, then who has the most Swedes? I don't know who has the most Swedes. Toronto has a couple. Minnesota has at least one. At least Pettersson, I'm pretty sure, is Swedish. So let's see. The Kraken have a couple Swedes. The Kraken have, Adam Larsson and Alex Wennberg. So a couple Swedes for the Kraken as well. Let's see here. I just want to make sure that I was right about that. Yeah, Pettersson's Swedish. So, you got a number of teams to choose from if you want some Swedish players. But the Kraken have a couple Swedes and a couple pretty, well, Larsson certainly. Actually, the two players who have played the most games for the Kraken are both Swedes. And Larsson has played every Kraken game, and Wennberg has played all but two. So, how about that? You're live and I'm live, says Michigan Kraken. Good day to stream a Kraken game. Get a weekend day. Get a handful of views here and there as people trickle in from losing interest in the blowout of the Texans demolishing the Browns. So, unfortunately, the Joe Flacco The fun Joe Flacco ride looks like it's over as the Browns are up 44 to, or sorry, the Texans are up 44 to 14. CJ Stroud going off. Wow. Sorry, I gotta check this out real quick. Okay, just three TDs for Stroud. See how are we doing for NHL scores here? NHL scores so far today. I know we had a 10 o'clock game, so the Capitals beat the Rangers. The Rangers are going to drop down the power rankings. I'm telling you what. Power rankings will be tomorrow. Well, actually, they'll be on Monday. I'll record them tomorrow. So, as usual, for the power rankings. It's going to be a busy weekend for me. I got this stream. Then we'll have the R&R recorded tonight, out tomorrow. Then Sunday. So tomorrow, then I'll have recording, power rankings, and then those out on Monday. Then back-to-back games Monday, Tuesday. So it's going to be a busy few days here on the channel. Good time to join in. But yeah, Capitals beat the Rangers, so they'll go down the power rankings for sure. The Rangers on a little bit of a skid here lately. The Canucks survive the Sabres 1-0. A barn burner in Buffalo there. 1-0 game. Canucks win that one. 2 points in the standings either way. Sharks almost make it happen against the Senators, but Senators win that one 5-4. And the rest of the games are about to get started here at 4 o'clock. Probably a few minutes late. So I'll probably get started here in probably, I would guess, like 10 minutes with the game. Probably about 10 minutes till the game. And as always, if you are watching this live on like cable or something like that, there's about a 45-second delay on YouTube, so there's nothing I can do about that. From when I'm talking to when you see it, it's like a 45-second delay, and then I'm watching it through Fubo, which can be anywhere from live to like a minute and a half behind. So I'll try and give updates as to like when the puck is dropped, when we go to commercial break, that kind of stuff. And if you say out in the chat, then I'll try to make sure I'm updating where we're at in the game if you do want to try and sync up your game with what I'm saying. Otherwise, I'll be a bit delayed probably from what you're watching. So, I mean, personally, when I watch streams, like I've watched like Tom Grossi and kind of some of those, like personally, I like where you can watch the game and then watch the reaction afterwards of, whoever's watching it live. So already set up for that, since I'll be delayed probably by at least a minute for you watching, especially if you're watching on cable. For whatever reason, streaming is a little bit delayed. Probably big cable coming to get the streaming, trying to prevent everybody from cutting their cable, but it's not working because nobody wants cable anymore. Unless you already have it. I'll do 100 push-ups every goal scored on the Kraken. Goal scored on the Kraken today. There will be none. Freezecraft tempting fate there. Go Kraken. Facts. Maybe I'll go for the Kraken. My cousin lives in Seattle. There you go. There you go. See, you got your cousin in Seattle. I don't know how long Wemberg will be on the team. I kind of still think that this is probably Wemberg's last season on the Kraken, but Adam Larsson will be with the Kraken for quite a while, so the Kraken will have at least one Swede for quite a while. Plus, it's just a fun team anyway, Plus, as far as Scandinavians, you got Ellie Tolvanen's Finnish, so right next door. It's midnight there in the UK. Well, hey, better than when the Kraken usually play their home games. That'd be 3 a.m. then when they're starting their home games usually for you. Yeah, because it's an 8-hour difference, I think, from Seattle. So yeah, they're usually starting at 3 a.m. for you there. Viaplay is, I think, 3 minutes behind. Okay. I'm calling it Kraken 4-1-W. So, hey, 4-1, that's 100 push-ups. You said every goal scored against the Kraken. That's, it's still 100 push-ups you're doing there. Hey Scott, how's it going, Victor? What's up from New Orleans? Just want to say really enjoy the content. Go Kraken. Welcome in, Mike. Appreciate you joining for at least a little bit here. Uh, I have cable, but I'm a boomer. Yeah, I mean, look, if I had cable, I would definitely. If we already had cable set up, I'd probably use it because it is convenient. But I'm certainly not gonna pay to have it set up and someone come drill a bunch of holes in our walls. And plus, it's not like cable's that cheap, especially now that they've made Root Sports even more expensive. Like Root Sports got moved into a more expensive package, so it's even harder to watch the Kraken. I think something's going to change though. The team, I've heard some things, and the team is not particularly happy with the viewership of Kraken games because of how difficult it's been to watch games via Root Sports, and the number of people that are cable cutting, especially like younger generation, just not going for cable. So they need to go the streaming route. And as far as that's concerned, like the template's now there. Vegas has done a streaming package for just Vegas games that's pretty affordable and easy to access. As long as you get rid of the blackouts, like local blackouts are really the big thing. And if you can get rid of the RSN, then hopefully you can get rid of the local blackouts, and that would help a ton. Ultimately, like the like teams get most of their money from gate revenue, so people coming into the arena, and the Kraken don't have trouble selling out the arena. So I guess from their standpoint, then you might as well like get money from the RSN deals, but you're not going to get. It's a 5-year deal. This is year 3 of it, and they're especially being a new franchise. I think it seems pretty obvious that the long term best idea would be to seems like the long term best idea would obviously be to make it really accessible to watch the games, and then get as many people interested as possible that'll then buy your merch, buy your tickets. And look, if you do run into a time where you need to fill the arena, then buying tickets, the more people that have that base of wanting to come and watch a game, plus even if the team is playing really well, which I think they will be for a few years, you're going to have those ticket prices that you can make more tickets off of your price, off of more money off of your tickets if more people are interested. So long term, I think it just makes sense to make the game super accessible, like Vegas has started to do. Obviously, Vegas had a similar issue with they were originally attached to Root Sports as well, so they've gone and done their own thing. Now we've got the women's league, the PWHL, that just started up, and they've been streaming their games for free on YouTube, and they're getting, I mean, tons of views, millions of views in Canada for a brand new league. So, and who knows, like it'll be interesting to see how much those views stay up for the PWHL after, kind of the shine of a new league wears off a little bit, and the interest of like that new league. But it's off to an incredible start. I think better than anybody really would have expected as far as that's concerned. And a lot of its first impression. And if you make it easy to view, you're certainly going to get more people than if you made it hard to view. So. The team cannot gain fans while en route. Yeah, I mean, like, I think they're still gaining fans. Like, the Kraken are still, it's still popular in Seattle. I still see Kraken gear everywhere. People are curious about the team. And, like, I know multiple people, I know a ton of people that have been to, like, 1, maybe 2 games and absolutely loved it and want to go to more games and are, interested in the team and want to know how they're doing and that kind of stuff. But they just, it's not worth it to them to get cable and go through the whole, especially now that you have to pay extra on top of a base cable package to get to Root Sports. Like, it's just not, they're curious about it and want to, like, they would watch games here and there, but it's just not, it's not worth the time and effort and money to figure out how to make that happen, basically. So it's not that they can't gain fans, it's that they can't get the fans that they have to watch the games consistently because of how difficult they are to watch. And it's hard to say how many fans, like, I know there's also a ton of people just like going on the Kraken subreddit. I know there's a lot of people that watch the games via illegal means. Illegal, take to the high seas, whatever you want to call it, pirate the games. And that's, I mean, again, it's great that people are interested enough to go through the hassle of doing that. but I mean, the team's not getting anything out of that. And those are people that, I don't think anybody wants to be pirating content of any kind. It's just that when you make the barrier of entry big enough where it's just like not worth the time and effort, then people are going to do pirating. It's the same reason like when Netflix got big, like pirating went way down when Netflix got big with TV and movie, because content was really easy to access, so there's no reason to pirate anymore. But then as soon as you start having like tons and tons of streaming services, like now there's, every channel, every like big media company has their own streaming service. Now pirating is like through the roof again because nobody wants to have 8 different subscriptions to different streaming services. So the same thing applies, where if you just make it easy to watch, people pay like $5 a month or whatever, and you're going to make a lot more money on like tens to hundreds of thousands of people paying $500 or $5 a month than like getting $5 million from an RSN that then you may or may not be able to sell good ad revenue. So I don't know. Let's see here. Just waiting for the Islanders to drop the puck. It'll be an hour from now before they face the Predators. Go Islanders. Kraken definitely need the Predators to lose games, so at least for tonight, go Islanders. I like the Islanders. I think it's good I think the Islanders, like that building is so fun in the playoffs, so I hope the Islanders make it to the playoffs. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I hope they do. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know it's frowned upon, my son, but until they come up with a better affordable viewing experience, I will continue to be a Jack Sparrow. Yeah, you know what? I can't blame people. For me, I need it to be reliable enough where like Fubo has its issues. Don't get me wrong. Fubo definitely has its issues, and cable's too expensive. I just need it to be more reliable than pirating is. So, but I can't fault people for pirating. And look, I don't, as far as I'm concerned, the more people that are watching the Kraken, the better, because then more people are going to come and want to watch my videos. So I don't care how you watch it, honestly, and I can't fault people for pirating the way things are right now. And look, if you're at a point where you're turning Jeff Baker from telling everybody to just suck it up and get root to like a year later saying that the Kraken need to stream games for free online, then something's wrong. Like something needs to change when you're changing minds like that quickly. All right, here we go. Puck has dropped. Game has started. Blue Jackets win the faceoff. Here the Blue Jackets in. Shot on goal. Goes wide, maybe. Oh, turned over. Outshot. Oh, wide. Oh, that was a very good chance. Oh, the Blue Jackets are all over that. They had a couple of very good chances already. 30 seconds in. They haven't gotten one on net yet, but boy, if they had. A little bit of a screen there, but misses the net again. Out in front. Back up top. Here we go. Break out the other way. Beniers with it. He'll dump it in. That'll be icing. So we'll come back to the Kraken end with 19:07 on the clock. Oh, he had the far side of the net there. Just missed it. Well, the Kraken have done this now a couple of times on this streak where they've had some tough starts. All right, Kraken win the faceoff. Beniers won that. They'll get it out, get a change as the Blue Jackets go back to their end to collect the puck, come back the other way. So the gourd line out there now as the Blue Jackets do get it into the offensive end. Borgen fighting down behind the net. Kraken have it coming out the other way. Turned over again in the defensive end. Blue Jackets have it. Shot blocked by Tolvanen. Alexiak tries to get it out. Does not. Blue Jackets more pressure in the offensive end. Here we go. Turnover. Kraken will lift it back the other way. That's going to come back for icing again. So 18-23, another Kraken icing. Game has started. Yep. The game opens a 4-game road trip for the Islanders. All right. Really, their toughest test in this will be the Jets. Yeah, the Jets are very good. And they score. Blue Jackets win the faceoff, and the first shot that actually ends up on net is in the back of it. Yeah, the Kraken just could not get the puck out of their end. Yeah, just through a screen, Joey didn't have a chance. Perfect shot through a screen. Unbelievable. Well, that is a terrible start for the Kraken. Here we go, Kraken in. Pass across, broken up. Wenberg line out there. Yeah, they need to figure out how to get off to some better starts in these games. Like even with their ability to kind of come back later on, it's been some tough starts to games. Kraken still have yet to get a shot on goal. There's only been one shot on goal. It did end up in it, but not much of a chance for Decord. All right, there's a shot that is saved by Decord. The Blue Jackets forechecking really well, and the Kraken just cannot get a hold of it defensively. They did have a one shift there in the offensive end, but it has been a bad start. I'm sorry, but why is Garth healthy scratched again? I don't know. I kind of thought he would start this game. I can't imagine. I mean, I think it's something where they've been playing so well. They've been playing so well for the most part in these games during this winning streak that it's really hard to then change something in the lineup when they've been playing well. And like you're going to take out Schultz or Dumoulin, and both of those guys have been playing pretty well in the stretch on top of that. So when they're playing as well as they are defensively, it's hard to then mix something up, but and Larson to the box. So the Blue Jackets are up 1-0 with 4 shots on goal early. And Larson's in the box. So yeah, this is about as bad of a start as you can have. This is definitely kind of it's a trap game. This is a Columbus team that has some talent on it, and the Kraken are on such a heater, playing so well that it's a team that, especially with a back-to-back coming up, you just kind of, maybe have that tendency to just assume that this one's going to go a certain way and forget that this is a team that has some talent. So I don't know. They're going to have to get it figured out here. Big save from Decord. Maybe that was blocked in front, but blocked by Alexiak, so they haven't given that a shot on goal yet. So I mean, it's lots of shot blocking happening here. Blocked by Wemberg. He's feeling it a bit. And that's going to get out of the zone. Alexiak does get it out. Kraken needed a change. There we go. Good sweep check keeps it out. 50 seconds left in the power play. The Kraken and taking the first 10 minutes off, name a more iconic duo. Yeah, it has been a theme here the last couple of games. Here we go, shorthanded break. McCann, he's got Gord. They are kind of... try to get it through. If he gets that through to Gord, he's all alone in front of the net. There's 2-on-3, but they didn't defend it particularly well. 19 seconds left on the power play for the Blue Jackets, so at least the Kraken penalty kill is playing well. McCann has it, and he will dump it all the way down. The Kraken will finish a change, and that will do it for the kill. So a bad start for the Kraken at least doesn't get too much worse on that power play for the Blue Jackets. Back into the Kraken end of the ice and at 5-on-5 with 14:45 left in the game. Here the Kraken the other way. Tatar has it. Bit of a 3-on-2 if they can hurry. Not quite. Drops it. Beniers shot! Glove down. Maybe off the shoulder. Nice little quick shot there from Beniers. Almost caught the goaltender unaware. Dumoulin. Eberle dumps it in. Beniers after it in the corner. Up along the boards. This line's going to need a change here pretty soon. I think they're rolling it right now. Coming back the other way. Yeah, now you got a couple of tired forwards out there. Eberle and Beniers still on the ice. Cartier has come in for Tatar. Eberle and Beniers have been out there for a while, though, so they need to get this one cleared. And Decord will swallow up another shot, so that will allow Beniers and Eberle to change. Not a good start. They started to kind of work their way back into it here these last couple of minutes. Beniers did have that one good chance. Oh, I'm like pouring that right into the mic. Here we go. Sorry. Refilling my my tea here a little bit. Keep the voice going all game long. All right. There we go. Well, not off to the start we wanted, but the Kraken have come back from down one before in recent memory. In fact, just 2 games ago they came back and won pretty handily from down 2, so or down 1 early on. Yeah, it was the game against the Sabres. That's the one. So they gave up the first goal against the Sabres and then still won 5-2. So they, it's not over yet. Still a lot of hockey left, and the Kraken obviously need to get their offense going a little bit here and shore things up defensively. But Decord, after the first shot, again, Decord really didn't have much of a chance. Like, he had 3 or 4 guys between him and the shot, just never... Shot attempts are 17-2. Not necessarily ones that made it on net. The Kraken have blocked a lot of shots, but 17 shot attempts to 2. Oh, yeah. Alexiak did get hooked there. No call. Here we go. Blue Jackets turned over. Schwartz in. Doesn't have a lane. It's just going to... Boy, that was a wonky little play there. Schwartz ended up on the ground just kind of whacking at it. Here we go. Kraken back on it. They'll get a breakout. Larson has it. So Kraken get a little bit of a change on the forward end. Dunn back over to Larson. Larson back to Dunn. Dunn up McCann. Into the zone. Throws it. Deflected into the far corner. Burakovsky's attempt is broken up, so the Blue Jackets have it coming the other way. Turned over in the neutral zone. And then turned back over. So the Blue Jackets with it again, coming through the middle of the ice. Challenged well. They go for a dump. Try and get it across. Good play by Borgen there. Here we go. Gord into the corner. And it's taken away from him as Dumoulin will keep it in. Gord down behind the net. Gets to it first, but more Blue Jackets around him. And they'll get it out, but that will go down for icing. So Kraken will get a face-off in the Columbus end of the ice with 12:22 on the clock. Let's see, other games going right now. Kings are in Detroit, 1-1 there early on. Devils up 3-0 on the Panthers. Hurricanes up 2-0 on the Penguins. That's the next opponent for the Kraken. It's going to come all the way back down. Icing again. So back down for another face-off in the Columbus end at 12:15 here. Thoughts on Cartier? He's been pretty good. Like, I mean, he's been basically what I think you would have expected from him. Obviously, he had that great playoff run, a couple of goals, and looked really good on that first line with Beniers and Eberle. And now he's settled more into that kind of bottom six type of role, and I think he's done really well in that role. He's doing exactly what you'd want from someone in that role. And they are going after Gord as he went in. How did Gord's helmet ended up in his jersey? What? And then 3 Blue Jackets just keep going, just jump him and start beating at him. I don't know how you don't get a roughing call after all that, but it is what it is. The Buffalo Bills have punched their playoff game. Have pushed their playoff game until Monday, citing their very snowy day in western New York. Well, maybe it'll be less snowy on Monday. I mean, I would be okay with a very snowy playoff game. As a neutral fan, that would be a lot of fun to watch. Oh, they had a guy on the back door there. Was that Goudreau? I think it was. It was 4 guys on Yanni. Yeah, maybe it was 4 guys at that point. Came out of it with a smile on his face, though, as always. Smile on his face and his helmet and his jersey. Go figure. Here we go. Kraken now up to 3 shots on goal. They've taken 1 away from Columbus, so it's 3 shots to 5. Columbus with the 1-0 lead, though. And certainly many more shot attempts than that. Columbus back in the Kraken end. Shot from well out. Kraken are having some trouble keeping guys away from the net. That's been something they've been really good at defensively here of late, is keeping the area around the net clean, so Decourt has an easier job seeing the shooting lanes and not having to worry about secondary chances. But Columbus doing a good job of getting to the net here early. Still down in the corner in the Kraken end, as Tanev will get to it. He'll bump it out. Oh, just out of the reach of Schwartz. That might, if he could have gotten that clean and got past the defenseman, he might have had a good chance there. But here's Decourt with it. Kraken back out. Cartier behind him. Dumps it. Here's Dunn. That was offside. Nope. Okay, they say it's onside. Looked a little offside, but guess we'll find out if they score. They do not. It comes back out the other way. Here's Columbus with it on the rush. Can they get the pass through? No. Shot and swallowed up by Decord. So it has been a very Columbus-friendly start to this game about halfway through. Whoa, that goes barely past the other side, and yeah, that was Goudreau that was standing right there. All right, good news. It's been a bad start, another bad first 10 minutes, but this is kind of where the Kraken have turned it around the last couple of games. So they play kind of a not great first 10 minutes and then a fantastic final 50. So you know what? If that's what happens here, I'll take it. Cartier is incredible, provides so much that doesn't show up in the box score. He deserves more minutes. Honestly, like, he gets a fair amount of minutes. There's only so many minutes to go around. Let's see, how many did he get against Washington? Yeah, he got 12:37, so that's pretty even with most of the guys on the team. I mean, it was the least on the forward end, but not by much. Like, 12:37 is still a good amount of minutes for a guy that's on the fourth line. Like, especially considering McCann had 13 minutes, which was the next lowest. And what's the highest on the forward end was 17 from Eberle and Gord. But both of those, that's because of penalty kill and power play. They're both on well, Gord is on and off the power play, but I guess Eberle's only power play. So that's because of special teams, though, with those two. Schultz only had 14 minutes against the Capitals. But yeah, Cartier is getting decent minutes. All right, face-off in the Kraken end. Just under 10 minutes. Won by the Kraken, but back for icing, so we'll get another face-off. Get another face-off in the Kraken end at 9:41 coming up here. All right, here we go. Columbus wins that face-off. They get a shot off, but it either goes wide or was blocked. Deflected. Does not end up on net. At 9:30, this is Alexiak with it behind the Kraken net. Gord has it now as he dumps in to go after it. Columbus is going to get to it first, and they will not get it back the other way as Alexiak keeps it in. Tolvanen. Here we go. Looking for some pass to. Does get it out to Borgen. Borgen back down to Tolvanen. Tolvanen up to the far side. Alexiak shot towards the net. Deflected. Misses it. Was Gord. And he does the Columbus Blue Jackets get it out. Looking pretty good in their defensive end. Not allowing the Kraken to get too much space. Ten block shots credited to the Kraken already. Surprised it isn't more than that, honestly. Oh, turned over by Dunn, but we're covered, so we're good for now. Out the other way. And Larson will get to it in the corner. So Kraken will get a breakout here. Here we go. Stretch pass. In. Scores! Oh. Okay. It's going to be hard to get... But it is Jordan Eberle. Puts it in. On the rush, the Kraken finally caught the Blue Jackets a little overextended. A nice pass there. Who was that outlet pass from? Larson, right? Oh! Floated it. Larson just rainbows it through the neutral zone, and Eberle catches it on the blue line, drops it to his stick, skates in, and fires it in. Tie game. Let's go. Let's go. Jordan Eberle. Yeah, I can't get... Might have to be a little bit tamer than usual. Gotta say, uh-oh. Columbus right in, turns it over in the Kraken end of the ice, but Wemberg could not get to it cleanly. Coming in. Oh, nice back. Who was that? Schwartz with the diving poke off the stick. What a defensive play from Schwartz there in the Kraken end. Blocked by Schultz, and he's down. Back up, but not feeling great about it. I mean, sure he feels great about getting in it. Oh my gosh, it bounced in. Fires, it goes... Well, that's the worst bounce we've seen in quite a... It goes off 2 Kraken players there. That goes off Wemberg and then off Dumoulin. I mean, that is one of the top 5 worst bounces of the season, and there have been some doozies for the Kraken early on this season. Wow. Well, the Kraken have to come back and figure a way to get another one now. That's 2 goals for Provorov already. As he is the one that shot it from up by the blue line. It goes off 2 Kraken players and into the net. 23 seconds after Eberle scored. Here's McCann in. Shot from well out. Oh, glove down. I thought I hit a pipe. Must have been something else. 7 minutes left in the first. Woo! Decord catches it and almost falls over, but it does catch it. 24 shot attempts for the Blue Jackets is what they're just saying on the broadcast. Here we go. Face-off 1. Nice little chip there by Tolvanen, but the Kraken can't get it into the offensive end. Comes back. That'll be no icing. I say Larson could have gotten to it. And it doesn't get out, so the Blue Jackets keep it in. Fired back. Here's a good transition. Kraken 3-on-2, and then Bjorkstrand just put it off the skate of Gordon. It bounced back into the neutral zone. Ay, ay, ay. Whoa, right through the armpit into the far side of the net from Eberle for that goal. So shots on goal are 6-8, but the shot attempts are much more lopsided in Columbus' favor. So a lot of shot blocks. For Decord, it's kind of just been a terrible start for the Kraken was the result of the first one. And then one of the most unlucky bounces of the season where there have been quite a few of those. Oh! And another one off this. Oh, the Kraken are not looking smooth right now. Here's Beniers to Tatar. Back to Beniers. One-timer. Out for... Oh! Tatar almost had a spot there. Here we go. And Alexiak misses the pass. Boy, they're looking rough right now. Here we go. Flipped in. Far corner. Back to the... Here's Dunn. Side. Larson. Shot! Blocked or saved, but the Kraken still have it. Larson to Dunn. Dunn down... Still banging around, and it's kept out. So 5 minutes left. The Blue Jackets are back the other way with it. They will get a change as the Kraken go to collect it down behind their own net. It's done with it as the changes happen. .440 left. Out front. Out in front. Scores! Jared McCann gets his first in a while. Nice little passing play, too. And the Kraken... Well, you know what? At least they're figuring out how to make up for it at the other end all of a sudden. Oh, yeah, just a nice pass there from... So Dumoulin pinches in, gets it down behind the net, and then Bjorkstrand collects it and just gets it out into the slot for McCann. And a perfect one-time shot. Yeah, that's tough. There's not much... I think it's Merzlikins in net. So yeah, it was an odd line they had. They had Bjorkstrand down there with that line in place of... That would be Burakovsky's usual spot. Uh-oh. Yeah, Burakovsky's not on the bench. You gotta be kidding me with that. So Burakovsky is not on the Kraken bench. That's why Bjorkstrand was in the game. Well, I mean, they got a goal out of it, but yeah, that's not good if Burakovsky's hurt again. Guess we'll get to see Yamamoto back. Burakovsky, 1 minute and 40 seconds, where everyone else has gotten at least 3 minutes. So, yeah, Burakovsky must have gone out there around the midpoint of the first period. And, oh, it's Tarasov in net for the Blue Jackets. Okay. Come on, Kraken defense. Yeah, it's not been a good start defensively for the Kraken. They're looking a little sloppy in their own end. All right. The potential score of 4-1 is now out the window, unfortunately, and Freeze is gonna get some workout in here later, or maybe during the game. I don't know. Does seem like a scrappy game so far. Yeah, it's just kind of a bit chaotic of a game, which is not like, if you're the Blue Jackets, this is exactly the type of game you want. Just kind of like up and down the ice, chaos chances at both ends. Like, if you can get a team like the Kraken are, where they're going so well in this structure that they're playing, especially defensively, anything you can do to get them out of that structure, that's going to be advantage Blue Jackets, or at least, like, you know, gets them more into the game than they are if the Kraken are playing the way that they have been. So all right, here we go. Face off in the Kraken end of the ice. 4:10 left in the first period. Shots on goal are 9 apiece. Goals are 2 apiece. Still, Columbus has had the better of the pressure, though. So, honestly, the Kraken have kind of done a decent job just to have this game even right now. And that's almost turned over back in their end, but Borgen's on top of it. Borgen gets it out. The breakout will start. Tipped in. And that was Bjorkstrand with the shot. So Kraken all of a sudden have a lead in shots on goal. So they have started to... It might have been a little bit more than 10 minutes, but they have started to kind of tilt the ice back towards Columbus's end. Ooh, he almost got that through the 5-hole. Still no Burakovsky on the bench for the Kraken. We'll see if he comes back out for the second, but if he's been out for that long of the first, I don't know if he's coming back. Alrighty. Here we go. 3 minutes left. The Kraken get the puck out of their own end. Here's Tanev with it, streaking along the boards. Does he have a pass? No, not quite. Now maybe shot towards the net. Oh, I thought he might have had a tip there from Wennberg, but didn't quite get to it. Wennberg gets it out. Good fight there from Wennberg between two Blue Jackets. Wennberg wants a Blue Jacket, so he also ex-Columbus player here. Played with Bjorkstrand there for a season or two. Here's Larson up the ice, tipped in by Eberle. Beniers will go to it in the corner. Eberle down, oh, can't quite get behind the net. Beniers gets to it. Shot by Dunn. Save made. Eberle, Beniers, off the skate. And Fantilli will get it out. Here's Beniers. Nice little pass from Beniers there to Tahar. Kraken off to get back on side as Beniers is deep in the zone. The Kraken will try and get a change here. Out front. Shot wide. Boy, that was... They let a guy just take a shot from the slot there. I don't know if that was Fantilli or Roslovic or who that was. But another sloppy little moment there defensively from the Kraken. Not starting to allow some of those dangerous chances that they have been pretty good at limiting in the last few games. Really throughout most of this. Certainly since kind of the... I guess even the Winter Classic, they only gave up a couple of very good chances. Both pretty much to Eichel, which fortunately Decord made the saves on. Good play by Dumoulin defensively there. That's where it's, see, locking down the middle of the ice there, not allowing them to get anything clean. That's what you want to see. Here's Dumoulin with it. 50 seconds left in the period. Tolvanen... I thought Tolvanen got it out, but I think they might have all been on the blue line, so maybe it did get out and they just got right back in. Where is it? There it is. I don't know if that like hit the board or whatever. That puck seemed to stay in the air for quite a while. Boy, they're letting a lot of things go here. 17 seconds left in the first. Here's Tolvanen and over the stick of Dunn back the other way. Larson's got to hurry. Dunn lifts it in. 3 seconds left. And that will end the first period. Shots on goal 12-9 in favor of the Kraken. It is 2-2. But even with that shots on goal difference, it was a period mostly controlled by the Blue Jackets. Mostly controlled by the Blue Jackets. Kraken off to another poor start in the first period. I mean, the Blue Jackets could have easily had 2 goals there early on. Eventually, they do get one off of a face-off and a screen that Decord just never has a chance on. Kraken come back a few minutes later, get the one from Eberle on a rush. Nice little, I mean, not really sauce at that point. It's just like taking flight. A rainbow pass all the way from the defensive end over the neutral zone onto the hand of Eberle on the blue line. Eberle skates in, fires that one far side. Ties it back up. 23 seconds later, though, Columbus with one of the worst bounces the Kraken have had go against them this season. Provorov from the blue line goes off Wennberg and then takes a big bounce off Dumoulin into the top of the net. So, I mean, if you're Decord, there's not much you can do there either. Fortunately, the Kraken are able to come back and get one from Bjorkstrand and McCann. Nice pass into the slot, and that gets us to our 2-2 score. Shot attempts, though, I don't know the totals, but the shot attempts are heavily favoring the Blue Jackets right now. Kraken have blocked over 10 shots. Let's see, how many shots have the Kraken blocked? One, two. Beniers with okay, so Beniers a block shot, Bjorkstrand a block shot, Schwartz a block shot, Tanev a block shot, Tolvanen, Wemberg with two, and then two each for Dunn, Alexiak, and Schultz. So that was seven on the forward end, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Seven on the forward end, six on the defense. So 13 block shots already for the Kraken. Lots of block shots. Meanwhile, Columbus has blocked one shot. So as far as blocking shots is concerned, the Kraken have done a lot better there. Yeah. Not the start you want to see from the Kraken, especially against a struggling Blue Jackets team. This is, yeah, tough. Tough to say the least. But you know what? It was a bad first period. The Kraken know that. Like they're not gonna, they'll be happy that they were able to even it up. But I think they'll obviously recognize that that was a terribly played first period. Certainly far from their best. And so far they've had kind of rough starts to the last couple of these games, and then they've come back and looked great for the rest of the game. So hopefully they can keep that trend going. And if so, to come out of a period that you really kind of tried to give away and you come out of it still evened up at two. As far as the scoreboard goes, I think this is about the best outcome you could have had for the Kraken. I mean, it'd be kind of nice if it was still 0-0 and Decorda had a shutout still going, but to still be tied after a period like that, I think you'll take it. But obviously, they need to play. Kraken need to pick it up and play a little bit better. Sorry, a little bit better here. I think they said the Jackets were around 24 shots. Yeah, they were around 24 with like 4 or 5 minutes left. So they're probably well into the upper 20s at this point. They got a couple more at least. Oh, excuse me. Trying to keep the voice going here. Might not have a ton of post game today. Still have to record the R&R afterwards, so we'll see how much post game we can make happen. But we'll do a little bit after the game's over. See, where is it? Kraken Blue Jackets here. Yeah. So the Blue Jackets were... Yeah. Where's shot attempts? That's just scoring chances for. Alright, so they do say, like, Kraken have more scoring chances than the Blue Jackets. 12-8. According to a natural stat trick. But still, Columbus with a slight edge in expected goals. Partially because they did have a power play, but they really didn't get much on the power play. The refs have let a lot of roughing go. Yeah, they're letting a lot of stuff go in this game. I think there's been two obvious calls to be made in this game. They made the one against the Kraken, the trip on Larson. That was the right call there. And then they missed during that power play. They missed an obvious hook on Alexiak that should have kind of evened things up, but oh well. Woo! What a pass from Larson. Looking at that on the replay is even better. It's like a QB dropping a dime 50 yards downfield, but using a stick instead of his hand. All right, give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to save you from having to listen to something real quick. All right, we're back. We're back. All right, not the best first period, but it's all right. Most losses via blown leads. The Columbus Blue Jackets lead the NHL with 18 so far this season. Blackhawks and Senators next two. Blackhawks 16, Senators 13. So, fun little stat there from Root Sports. You know, for everything I said about how the Kraken really need to get off of Root Sports from just like a viewership standpoint, I hope like if they do a streaming service of their own, I hope they just take pretty much the same crew and move them over. I think the broadcast quality of Root Sports is, I mean, look, it's a local broadcast. It's not going to be like quite to the same level as a national, but I think they do a really good job as a local broadcast. Certainly, you know, your game calling team, like the play-by-play, John Forsland, JT Brown, Eddie Olczyk, like that's, you know, one of the best teams in the game. So if they do end up doing their own streaming service, hopefully they can bring a lot of these people over and have a similar level of quality of broadcast. You know, because for as hard as they make it to watch the games, they at least do a good job of what they do put out there. All right, I'm back. I just left the subway. You going to the game? Going to the game on the island? Welcome back. Welcome back from underground. I really like them, so hope they do come back. Let's see here. What is... Money Puck says it's about a 50-50 so far. Which I still feel like is being a bit generous to the Kraken, but it's actually even giving the Kraken a slight edge. Which again, I feel like is being a bit generous. So Money Puck has the expected goals at .58 for the Kraken, .48 for the Blue Jackets. Natural stat trick. Here we go. Expected .4 is .56 for the Kraken. .54 for the Kraken. .56 for the Blue Jackets. So I think that's a little bit more accurate, but still, yeah. I guess a lot of the advanced stats are saying it's about a 50-50 period, so maybe the final score there. The Kraken did start to turn things around in the back half of the first, but it still seemed like they weren't... I don't know. It still seemed a bit sloppy. They gave up a couple chances there that they really didn't need to in their end of the ice. See how NFL games. See how the NFL playoffs are going. Not that anybody in Seattle cares since that part of the season's done. Oh, Flacco threw back-to-back pick sixes on back-to-back drives. Oh no. Joe, no. Yeah, the Texans pretty much dominated that 45-14. Wow. And the other game that was supposed to happen tonight is not happening, so it's all hockey tonight. I guess there's probably basketball, but who cares? Nobody in Seattle yet. I mean, actually, there's a lot of basketball fans still in Seattle, but, you know, we have a hockey team and not a basketball team, so. So yeah, that's why the game got moved up to 10 a.m. against the Penguins, is because the Steelers game is now at 1:30 against Buffalo. All right, I'm gonna have to do another cough drop here. My throat is not having it. Kraken broadcasters are really nice people. That's true. I've met a handful of them, and they are very nice people. First Pete Carroll is out, then Kalen DeBoer leaves for Alabama. Tough for Washington football fans. Yeah, it's been, fortunately, like, if I'm gonna pick a college football team, it is gonna be the Huskies, but I don't follow college football a ton. So that one didn't hurt quite as bad for me, but yeah, especially if you're a diehard Seahawk and Husky fan, tough couple of days there. I mean, with Pete, we knew it was coming. It just seemed like it was going to be a couple more years down the road. And it sounds like he's still going to be a part of the organization, which is definitely a good thing because, yeah, I think he still has a lot to offer even at 72. I think ultimately it came down to they just saw there's so many coaches, like good coaches that are available that if they were going to make that change, I think that's what it came down to is they just decided that if they were going to have to make a change at head coach in the next kind of 3 years and there was enough of a good pool to draw from that they just kind of had to try and take advantage of it, which long term I guess makes sense, but I still like I don't know, I still think you stick with Pete as long as he wants to do it, but please say hi, Harshawn. Hi, Harshawn. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Let me know if I'm not pronouncing that right, but Harshawn, how's it going? Welcome in. All, well, all are welcome, even if you've got a Flames, little Flames emblem there. But at least it's Blasty. You know, if you're gonna go with the Flames logo as your profile pic, you gotta, at least you got Blasty, so you can respect it. Welcome everybody. We're at the first intermission. I suppose I should probably switch this over to second period, huh? Probably switch that over to the second before I forget. And actually, while I'm here. Hold on. There we go. Sorry for the little break there, trying to give my ailing throat a little break, but also get it switched over to the second period. Also add a little thing so we know that the Kraken are in Columbus. Not that I stream home games, but you know, just add a little bit extra there. I don't know if it looks better or not, but it is what it is. It's there now. Okay, let's refill the tea here real quick. Yes, you pronounced it right. Oh, excellent. Glad to hear it. Oh no, this is my last mug. Alright. I may have to use a commercial break in a second to go get some more hot water, but we still got one mug of tea left, so that'll get us through a little bit longer. Welcome everybody in. It's coming from, there's no more NFL football, so you know what? The sports, the weather of Northwest New York worked in my favor. I was a little bit worried about how the turnout would be for this stream, considering we had playoff football happening at the same time, but no playoff football happening now, thanks to the snow. See, who doesn't love snow? Gotta love snow. Refill tea? Are you Red Jacket in disguise. Well, I'm not a Blue Jacket. No, I'm just kidding. No, just my voice is not going to make it through this game if I don't have some warm liquid, some nice tea there. I don't think this tea bag is really doing too well at this point, but I think it's pretty much spent, but it is what it is. Actually, do I have another one? Oh, I do have another one. Let's go. Another one from earlier in the day. Just sitting there. I forgot about. Alright, we're back in business. Back in business with the fighting off the cold. Actually, now that I think about it, I was going to take more Dayquil and I forgot. Anyway. I heard the Flames are bad in the T-Mobile Arena against Vegas. Are they bad in I mean, Vegas just plays very well at home typically, so I don't think there's too many teams that have a good record in Vegas. Excuse me. Is that where they're playing tonight? Yep. Alright, pretty much starting after this game. Flames in Vegas. You know, someday I do at some point want to like stream some non-Kraken games just for the fun of like streaming a game I've got neutral interest in, or at least, you know, I don't have one team I'm passionately cheering for. I'll always have a team that I play again. Like, I think pretty much every game there's one team that I'll cheer for or against based on whatever. If it's not based on what's better for the Kraken, I'll find something like whose jerseys I like better, if there's a player I like, but at some point I do want to do some streams for non-Kraken games. I don't know when that's going to happen, though. Probably not in the near future, but at some point. Here we go, Kraken into the offensive end. Here's Eberle looking for the pass. Does not quite get... He was trying to get, I think, a backhand shot on net. Didn't quite get it there. Oop. Somebody fell over for Columbus. Eberle wins it back. Oh, tried to get it to Beniers for the break-in, but didn't work out. Here's Dunn. Dunn up to Tolvanen. Eberle. Shot. Out. I think Beniers was alone. Alright, Kraken definitely off to a good start here in the second period. Yeah, this is all Kraken so far here early. Maybe not quite to the same extent that we saw Columbus early in the first, but still a very good start here for the Kraken. Shot! Goes wide, or maybe he got saved. Shot by Alexiak out front. Borgen, rebound chance. Blocked in front or maybe goes wide. Kraken, all sorts of pressure now. Here's Bjorkstrand back and forth. Has it poked off his stick, but Larson gets to it and keeps it in. Or sorry, Alexiak, not Larson. And the Blue Jackets do get it out, so they're going to poke it in and get a change! Whoa. Decord nearly put it off Borgen back into their own net. That would have been pretty embarrassing. Say the Blue Jackets already, like, they already got their one favor from the hockey deities. They don't need another crazy lucky bounce. Tanev, oh! Big save from Tarasov there on Tanev. Here's Schultz, up to Tanev. Tanev gets it in. Still has it. Keeps it in. Shot towards the net. Shot! Wemberg! Swallowed up by Tarasov. Wow, what a start for the Kraken. They're starting to really lay it on now. Already 5 shots on goal in the period, maybe 6. Oh, Eberle almost had... Yeah. He just saw open net on the side. He just didn't get enough of it. He was trying to lift it over the pad. Excuse me, tried to lift it over the pad of Tarasov just like he did on the first goal to the far side, but just didn't quite get it high enough. Here's Dunn to the side. Larson, shot! Save made by Tarasov. The Blue Jackets back the other way. They got a bit of a rush chance here. Trying to get out in front for Goudreau. Decord has it, though. That's not Goudreau. I don't know who that is. Sup, boys? How are we feeling so far? You know, it was not the best first period from the Kraken, but they still came out with it tied 2-2, and they are off to an incredible start to the second period so far. Shots on goal are 7-1 in the second period so far as the Blue Jackets just got their first. Out front. See, there you go. That's the defense that we needed early on. They just closed up on that center of the ice and did not allow anything to get through it. Here's Fantilli into the Kraken end of the ice. Nice little move from Fantilli there, but also defended well, and the shot is not on net. Yeah. Oh, fumbled. Out of the zone. All right. Oh, almost turned over in the neutral zone. Here we go. Eberle, and again, Eberle's having a game. Oh, and then he turns it over. Here's Goudreau, and penalty. And the Blue Jackets will get a power play as Goudreau draws the call. There might be two. It's 5-on-3. They had too many men on the ice and a hold on Borgen. It's going to be a full 2 minutes of 5-on-3. Oh my gosh. Yep, that's too many guys. Wow. After everything that went well there at the start, they might just have thrown it all away. Yeah, it's gotta make that call. Well, that's not great. Sorry, not feeling well. Honestly, like, yeah, I'm not feeling great. It would be easier to talk if I didn't have this, like, tickle in the back of my throat. But you know what? I said I was going to stream, so we're streaming. It'd been a while. I wanted to make sure we got one. Kraken win the face-off. Larson gets it down, so that kills off some time, and that's good. It's not going to kill off a ton of time. They're right back into the offensive end. Obviously, a two-man advantage for the... Here they are. Circling. Shot. Save made by Decord. Here we go. Defended. Goudreau. Winding to the side. Looking for a pass. It's not there. Shot. Scores. Well, another stupid mistake cost the Kraken. This time it's in the penalty variety. The court almost got back for it, but you have 2 minutes of 5-on-3. You better score. Yeah, you got a piece of it, but it gets through the 5-hole. Yeah, he was a little slow reacting to that shot, but I mean, you have to expect that's going to happen when you give up 2 penalties back to back like that. Thank you. Well, here's McCann shorthanded. Sends it back. Nobody's there, though, so now the Blue Jackets are in 3-on-2. Still 35 seconds left on the normal power play after they score. Here's Gord out. Shorthanded with it. And he's going to throw it all the way back. Nice job by Gord. That's going to kill off the rest of the power play. Good job by the Kraken here. The remainder of it. But now they got in to get another one. Oh, that bounced off the boards weird. But fortunately for the Blue Jackets, goes right to a player with a net empty. If that goes to a Kraken player, it's 3-3. Full strength. Both penalties are killed off. Well, one of them killed off by the Kraken allowing a goal, but unfortunately the first 3-goal game for an opponent in quite a while. Here's Eberle to Beniers. Can't quite handle it clean. Eberle behind the net. Here's Beniers with it at center ice. Gets it up to Tatar. Kraken back the other way. And turnover in the neutral zone. Tatar could not get open ice. Beniers, almost a nice play, but the Blue Jackets. Alright, the Kraken will get a chance on the power play here. Yeah. I mean, you knew they were going to find something against him after 3 penalties for the Blue Jackets, but all right, Kraken need to get one here. I mean, they don't need to, but they really could use a goal here. All right, give me 1 second. Well, they got off to a great start to the period, and then just stupid mistakes. Bench minor for too many men, which really they don't. That doesn't happen to the Kraken too much, but happens at the worst possible time as they also allow a breakaway even with too many men on the ice, which Borgen has to hold to not allow Gaudreau, one of the better players for the Blue Jackets, to get a breakaway attempt. And that, of course, leads to a 5-on-3 that Columbus scores on. All right. Here we go. Columbus wins the face-off, but they do not get it. Oh, they do get it out. I thought Bjorkstrand was going to be able to close that off, but nope. Columbus does get it out. Kraken circle up. Here's Eberle to Wemberg. Wemberg gets it in. No, he doesn't. Here's Bjorkstrand. He's going to fire it in. Kraken will go for a dump in. That does work out. Bjorkstrand is able to keep it this time. Here's Dunn. The side, McCann. Back to Dunn. Dunn to Bjorkstrand. Bjorkstrand, the shot is saved. Excuse me. I think he thought about that shot, but then it closed up on him. All right, here's Schultz. Tolvanen back to Schultz. Shot. Wide. Beniers. Little stumble there from Beniers. Here's Schultz. A shot. Bounces out and cleared. Halfway through the power play now. All right, here we go. Kraken back through. It's Beniers in. Schwartz back to Tolvanen. I don't know how that got through. Tolvanen shot. Save. Big one-timer from Tolvanen. And not kept in by Schultz. Kraken are lucky that didn't turn into a shorthanded chance. Back around. Fought for. Beniers. Nice keep by Beniers. Nice little pass from Beniers back to Dunn. Dunn to Beniers. Beniers looks for the shot. Tries to go to Tolvanen in the slot. It's not there. Back to full strength, so nothing on the power play for the Kraken. I mean, they got a couple shots, but don't score. And that one comes all the way back for icing. All right, so we'll get a face-off in the Columbus end of the ice. Oh, don't forget, new start time for Monday's game, 10 a.m. I already told you all that. You already know. All right, face-off won by the Kraken. Back to Dunn. Dunn shoots. It scores! How many times have we seen Dunn score right off a face-off this season? Boy, you love to see it. Cartier with the tip, it looks, as he goes to the line first. All right, so here we go. It's Cartier throws it back to Dunn, and then, yeah, got just a stick on it. Yep. Cartier sends it back to Dunn, and then gets right out in front of the net with a nice tip. What a play by Cartier. Just a great sequence there. All right, so the Kraken make up for another dumb mistake, and we're drawn even again. And that's icing the other way. So now with just over 10 minutes left, 10:06, just over halfway through the game. Or sorry, just under halfway through the game. We'll get a face-off in the Kraken end. Burakovsky is not going to be back for the rest of the game. Will not return, lower body injury. Oh boy. Burakovsky is just absolutely plagued by injuries. And that's turned over. Oh, what a save from DeCord. Boy, they also had someone on the far side there. I don't know how they don't score there. Here we go. Come on, McCann, get it out. Bjorkstrand. Back the other way, Borgen has it. Across to Alexiak. Alexiak up to Bjorkstrand. Bjorkstrand in. Gets it out to the side to Gord. Gord down in the corner now behind the Columbus net. It's Bjorkstrand. Nope. Columbus comes out with it. And they'll get a breakout the other way. Fantilli had it to start, but they dump it into the corner where Schultz will go get it, and Columbus goes for a change. Wemberg, that's Blue Jacket as well. Tries to get it in, but the Kraken are offside. Well, would have been offside. Dumoulin fires it in, so the Kraken will go after it, but it bounces harmlessly behind the net, so Columbus will get the breakout chance again. And that will not quite get back for icing as Schultz goes to collect it. Oh, big save from DeCord. Goudreau got left all alone in front of the net and got the pass. DeCord just absolutely shut the door. Boy, the Kraken are making this one way more interesting than it needs to be. All right. They're awakening Fear of the Deep. They're starting to go back to sleep a little bit too. That's not a good last minute. Well, however long it's been since Cartier scored. It's been the momentum has kind of faded a bit since Cartier scored, which is kind of not the way you'd want it to go. I was telling you about Cartier. Yep, we talked about Cartier earlier. Alrighty. Alright, let's see here. So Schultz tries to put it up along the boards, but it goes... Oh, Dumoulin thinks there's no one there. Oh, what a save from DeCord. Another save from DeCord. Oh, out in front. Hack and whack. Another good look for the Blue Jackets right off the face-off there. All right, here we go. Blue Jackets with the puck. 8:12 left in the second. That comes all the way back. DeCord plays it. Done to Larson. Larson up to the far side. That's Beniers with it. He gets it into the offensive end. Dumps it along the... Oh, Beniers took a late hit, and Dunn just beat the crap out of Sillinger. Oh, there... Oh, Matty... I don't know if that was a grimace of pain or just a smile after watching Dunn just take the life out of a man. Not quite, but, you know. Boy, that is... There was some hate behind those hands. Oh, yeah, boards Beniers. Oh, right into the top of the boards. Oh, they are lucky Beniers didn't get hurt there. Get your head out of the way. We want to see the fight. We want to see Dunn beat the crap out of someone. Yeah, that's the right call. Okay. That's a terrible hit. I mean, they're very, like, Beniers' head goes, oh, the side of his head right into the top of the boards. I mean, I'm kind of surprised they didn't send Beniers to go have a look at him for concussion there. His head went right into the top of the board. I mean, like, obviously you want Beniers available for this power play, but of course now you do have the downside with Dunn being, I mean, like, he's the guy that was first there, but the downside with Dunn being the guy that's willing to do that is now like, your first power play quarterback, like your PP1 quarterback is now sitting in the penalty box, but all right, Kraken need a score here. Really take a hold of the game. Here we go. They win the face-off. Schultz, McCann, shot. Goes wide. Bjorkstrand has it. Skates in. Skates in. He'll go back to Schultz. Yep, back to Schultz. Schultz to McCann. McCann skates up. Shot. He was going for a pass. Doesn't work. Round to the far side. McCann has it now. He'll skate up. Back to Eberle. Eberle bumps it out to Schultz. Schultz back to McCann. McCann looking for a shot. Another pass attempt. Doesn't go. Oh, Bjorkstrand off some plumbing. Here's McCann again. Shot. Out. Wemberg has it. Coming to the far side. Bjorkstrand. In. Schultz. McCann. They're just feeding McCann. Schultz. Columbus finally starting to cue in on McCann a bit. Getting McCann some space. Schultz. Shot. Bjorkstrand off bodies in front. Schultz. Shot. Here's McCann with it. Back to Schultz. Bjorkstrand shot. Elbowed away. 27 seconds left on the power play. The Kraken have been in the offensive end the entire time. Bjorkstrand shot. Scores! Let's go! Power play goal, Oliver Bjorkstrand. What a shot from Bjorkstrand, too. Nice shot. I screamed far too loud for it being 1:30 a.m. here. Hey, you love the passion. You love the passion. I think she said UK. Yeah, the UK. There you go. Oh, nice forecheck by Gord. Or sorry, that was Schwartz. Nope, it was Gord. Okay. I see an A on the chest and a 7 is one of the numbers. You know, it's one of the two. Back for Larson. Here's Dumoulin to Gord. Gord circling. Dumoulin to the far side. Out in front. Hack and whack. Ellie just, yeah, Tolvanen just got cross-checked in the mouth. They're not calling anything on that? Beniers back on the ice. Big save from Decord. Well, the Kraken have a lead. Oliver Bjorkstrand. Back in Columbus, where he spent a good chunk, well, I mean, the rest of his career, to the point where he came to Seattle. Hoping we don't come back from this commercial break here and find out that Columbus is on the power play because it wasn't deflected. They did say deflected out of the glass, but if that got out clean, then it's a power play for the Blue Jackets. I don't know if they'll show another shot of Tolvanen getting cross-checked in the face, but that didn't draw a call. One of those things where it's like, the Kraken just score on the power play, you know the officials are, like, murder is going to happen for them to call another penalty there. I watched your video today on major penalties, as there are almost only minor penalties in Swedish hockey, and boy, was that good. I now vividly will remember an instigator and boarding. Yeah. Yeah, they still don't... major penalties still don't happen very commonly. I mean, you know, once or twice, maybe like a handful over the course of a season, every team is going to get them here and there, but they're still pretty, you know, in the grand scheme of things, they're pretty rare in the NHL. At least uncommon, maybe not rare, but they're still uncommon in the NHL, but they do happen. And it's usually only if it's like something that would cause an injury, so... I mean, shoot, if like Beniers had gotten injured there, there's a chance that maybe they call that a major, but I don't know. Beniers bounced right back up, so they didn't call it a major. All right, 4:40 left in the second. Kraken with the 4-3 lead and the shot advantage, 28-18, as that's rubbed out well by Alexiak. Little rush there for the Blue Jackets as they get the puck back in neutral ice, but back to their end. I don't know where Freeze went. Maybe he's starting his 300 push-ups. Oh, no, 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 no. Another big save from Decord there. Boy, if it's not for Decord, this could be real ugly. They're calling that icing? Really? That did not make it. I don't know how that's icing. Yeah, I don't know how they called icing on that. The puck did not make it to the goal line. And they're still gonna... Alright, well... See, if they do call icing and it turns out it's a bad call, they'll take it to center ice sometimes, but... Nope, they're still going down to the Kraken end. So 3:45 left in the second. The Kraken win the faceoff in their end of the ice. Get it out. It's past Bjorkstrand, and that's going to come all the way back. That time, it is icing. shots. Yeah, 28 Kraken, 21 Columbus, which means 16 for the Kraken and 11 for the Blue Jackets in the, or no, 12 for the Blue Jackets in the period. Here are the Blue Jackets back in again. That one well wide, broken stick. That's probably why. Tolvanen, just a huge reverse hit there from Tolvanen. Tolvanen, I'm sure, playing with a little extra fire after getting cross-checked in the face. Nice defense there from Tatar. Gord off a broken stick, but Borgen still gets to it, and it goes out of play. So with 2:42, we got a... Oh! Woo! Tolvanen just saw him coming at the last second and put him on his back. There we go. Larson wins the faceoff back from center ice. Larson has it. 2:30 left in the second period. Shots on. No more shots have happened in the last little bit here. Beniers, what a pass. Eberle in. Nice little move. Tatar. Down into the corner. And that gets past Beniers. It's a 3-on-2, maybe even a 4-on-2 if they're quick about it. But a bad pass eliminates that chance for the Blue Jackets. Here's Beniers through up to Eberle. Eberle out of the zone, but the Blue Jackets have it back in the neutral zone with 2 minutes now left in the second period. Back into the Kraken end of the ice as Dunn gets it across to Larson behind the Kraken net. Larson up into the neutral zone. It is turned over. Yes, Blue Jackets have it. Oh, turned back over as Eberle gets off the ice. Tolvanen. All right, Blue Jackets back with it through the neutral zone into the offensive end. Down along the boards. Big hit from Cartier there, or at least a nice shove. Decor didn't quite see that shot coming, but it doesn't end up on net, so that's good. He was in good position. Columbus out to the other side. Provorov with 2 goals on the game already, up by the blue line. Shot rubbed out. Second shot goes off bodies in front, maybe off of Decord. I don't think it made it to him, though. Nice play by McCann to get that puck back and the other way. Larson, another little rainbow pass. Tolvanen with a weird little chip to McCann. I don't know why he didn't just, pass that normally, but that's okay. Here's Cartier back behind the net with 40 seconds left in the period. Up to Schultz. Shot. Tipped and high. Still in play, though. Wemberg. Schultz shot. Off to the corner. Gaudreau has it as the Blue Jackets come back the other way. 24 seconds remaining in the period. And that is an icing, so with 21 seconds left in the period, the Kraken will get a face-off in Columbus's end of the ice. All right. Just a few seconds left in the second period here. The Kraken with the 4-3 lead. A much better second period from the Kraken, but they still gave up a goal thanks to a couple of bad mistakes that happened right at the same time that allowed Columbus a 5-on-3 power play opportunity, which they did score on with about a minute left in that 5-on-3. False start on the face-off. All right. 20 seconds left if they can get a face-off. This is a spot where I'd almost want Dunn out there. You got 20 seconds left in the period. All right, here we go. Kraken do not get the face-off win, but with 10 seconds left in the period, that should just about do it for this second frame. Tanev will dump it in, and that should do it for the second here. The Kraken will take the lead into the third. 4-3. Shots on goal are 31-22 in favor of the Kraken. They got a nice little burst there towards the end of the period, but still an imperfect period from the Kraken with the overlapping, they happened at the same time, penalties, the too many men, and then as they have too many men on the ice, they still somehow almost give up a breakaway to Gaudreau, which Borgen has to thwart by holding. That gives Columbus a 5-on-3 chance after a great start to the period by the Kraken. They were all over Columbus, but didn't get anything out of it. Blue Jackets get that 5-on-3 power play, and Decourt had a couple big stops, but eventually a little bit slow to react to a pass, and one gets through his 5-hole into the net, makes it 3-2. The Kraken come back with a response goal off of a face-off. Cartier back to Dunn. Dunn fires the shot. Cartier tips it in. And then later on in the period, the Kraken do get a power play as Beniers takes a dirty hit into the boards. Dunn fights him. And eventually the Kraken do score on the power play, keeping the puck in the offensive end that entire power play, too. They feeding McCann constantly. It never got across the blue line. And eventually it's Bjorkstrand who gets the into the back of the net. Gives the Kraken that 4-3 lead that they carry to the end of the period. I'll have to go to bed now as it's 2:45 a.m. here in Europe. But go Kraken. This might be my team. Glad to hear it. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Staying up late there. Staying up late to catch a majority of the game. So I appreciate it. And yeah, welcome aboard if you're a Kraken fan. You know what? If you want to enjoy a couple of teams, for the most part, you can cheer for a team from the West and a team from the East. And unless they face in the Stanley Cup, you only have to worry about it twice a year. But since you were considering the Canucks, I'm going to definitely put my hat in the ring for the Kraken. All right, give me 1 second here. I'll be right back, and we'll get this changed to the third period and come back from intermission. Hopefully the Kraken can maintain what has been one of their strengths is getting points out of games where they go into the third with a lead. So hopefully they can keep that up. All right, be right back. All right, we're back. Now, let me get this changed over here to the third period real quick. Oh, no, don't do that. Dun, 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 dun. Fortunately, I'm not good enough at getting in tune for them to copyright it. All right. Alrighty. We're back. We got third period up there. Hasn't started yet, obviously. We just got to intermission, but it has not been the prettiest way to get there for sure. Against a team they probably should be playing better against, but the Kraken are in the lead going into the third, which has usually been a good thing for this team. I mean, it's usually a good thing for any team, but got to lock it down though. They still did allow some chances there in that second period. Excuse me again. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with another cough drop here real quick. Woo! Yeah, that's not. I don't even think that was on net if Cartier doesn't get a tip on it. Looking at Cartier's goal. All right. So let's see. Yeah, the Blue Jackets had a couple good looks there right before the Kraken power play, but then Kraken get that power play. So I guess the Kraken did pretty well there at the end of the first. So that could have been a better period. Both teams got their chances here and there. Yeah, that second power play for the Kraken, they end up getting off the board on Beniers. Definitely helped things out a bit. They were like Columbus was starting to push back right at that time, and then they get that penalty. Kraken ended up scoring on that power play with all that pressure, and Columbus still kind of pushed there to the end of the period. So I wouldn't necessarily say the Kraken are going into this third period with momentum, but they have the lead, and that's what matters. Wow. Sorry, I was mocking the commercial there. Chipotle has some of the I don't know, most like cheesy commercials almost. I don't know. Like the whole interviewing somebody, interviewing a worker vibe, like it's just weird. I don't know, it's a fine marketing scheme. It's just whatever. I don't know why I'm fixated on that, but all right. Let's see how the other games are going. We wait for this intermission to go through. All right, kind of got through it. If anybody has any questions, I think throw them in the chat there. Let's see other games. Here we go. Oh, let's go. Hold on. Let's make sure this is all fresh. All right. This is all kind of good news all around for the Kraken. Well, all right. So Toronto's up 3-2 against Colorado, though Colorado is coming back. Toronto had 3 goals in the first to none for the Avalanche, and the Avalanche get 2 back in the second. So that could be an interesting one to watch. The Habs through 2. The Habs through 2 have a 1-0 lead on Edmonton. Also through 2 periods, the Red Wings are up 5-1 on the LA Kings. Boy, the Kings have just really started to slide off the face of the earth. Let's see, Lightning here, up 3-1 against the Ducks. That's not a terribly big surprise, especially now that now they're without Zegras again. As we know, Kraken up 4-3 over the Blue Jackets after 2. Flyers up 2-0 over the Jets. Flyers up 2-0 over the Jets after 2. So if that holds up and the Edmonton score holds up, that'll be 2 of the 4 big winning streaks right now that are. And the Panthers lost early, so the Panthers lost to the the Devils, sorry. So there were 4 teams on the like 8 or 9 game winning streaks. The Panthers had won. Were the Panthers 8 in a row or were they 9 in a row? I think they were 9 in a row. So the Panthers were 9 in a row. Panthers had won 9 in a row. They lost to the Devils, so that comes to an end. Then you got the Jets down by 2 after 2 to the Flyers. That's an 8 game winning streak. And the Oilers down 1 after 2. So still, definitely, both those games could still flip, but that's the other 2 winning streaks. The Kraken could be the only long winning streak left at the end of the night if those 3 scores hold up, which, at least from a Kraken perspective, I certainly hope the Kraken one holds up. The Edmonton one, I wouldn't mind the Edmonton score holding up as well, just from a playoffs kind of standpoint. Other games to watch for the Kraken as far as the early playoff race is concerned. We've got, Dallas, if they keep slipping, they're against the Blackhawks, but they're still in the top 3. Boston and St. Louis. A rematch of the 2019 Stanley Cup. But that one is tied at 1 after 1. Islanders and Predators after 1 is still scoreless. And the Coyotes up 3-0 over the Wild, which that one, I guess you'd probably rather have the Wild win if you're the Kraken, but honestly, as long as it doesn't go to overtime, it's fine. Avs on the comeback, that's right. Kraken, Kraken, Kraken. You love to hear it. So yeah, let's get the Islanders to get a win there. That'd be good. The Islanders could win. I hate to say it, but if the Bruins could win, if the Habs can hold on to beat the Oilers, that would be great. And I can't imagine that the Red Wings would lose at this point. Let's see if our boy Daniel Sprong has any points in that. Daniel Sprong. 2 shots on goal. An assist. All right, Sprong has an assist in that game. 5-1 over the Kings. Let's see, who else? Then later on tonight, still yet to play, is starting at 7, Calgary against Vegas, which is kind of another game where you just don't want it to go to overtime. That's one where, like, again, obviously we're almost exactly halfway through the season, so it's still very early to be thinking about playoffs, but especially considering the Kraken they're kind of on that edge, I don't know if it's ever too early. And when it comes to that, the Flames are a few points behind the Kraken with the same number of games played. Actually, they might have played more. Let me check. I think they've played the same. No, they played one more. Okay. So they're 2 points behind the Kraken, but they've played one more game. So, wouldn't mind the Flames just not making it too interesting, take one more team out of the race, but at the same time, if the Kraken keep playing as well as they have of late, Vegas could fall out of this with how they've been going. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They've played one more game than the Kraken and have 8 more points. So it's still, I mean, still a hill to climb for sure. But yeah, 3-7 in the last 10 versus the Kraken 8-0-2. Oh, Vancouver's won 5 in a row now. They're starting to get a little streak going there. All right. I wish that like there was a game happening right now. Everything's at intermission, so we can't even watch like a track a game that's happening. Obviously, NFL, the Texans beat the crap out of the Browns, so they move on. CJ Stroud looked good in his first game. Not that I watched any of it actually, but 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Pretty good night for Stroud, or day. See, as far as expected goals, Money Puck has the Kraken up 2.04 to 1.69 as far as expected goals so far. So both teams outscoring the expected, but again, that doesn't factor in things like screens or bounces off of your defenseman next to the net, or that it's a 5-on-3 power play. It doesn't really factor in any of that stuff, so I think this is going to be one of those games for Decord where his stats do not tell the story of how good he has actually played in net for this game. I do think the power play goal he could have gotten across quicker. But the other two, honestly, I don't think there's any way you can really put the other two on Decord. It's a bounce off of 2 of his players, but especially a bad bounce off the defenseman on the second goal. And then the first goal is just like, it's off of a screen. He doesn't see the shot going. He just put himself in the middle of the net and hope it hits you, which it didn't. All right. They've taken a couple shots away from the Kraken, so it's 29-22 in shots on goal. Oh, there's the close-up. Yeah, get him done. Throws him to the ice. Ooh, what a shot. Near side over the glove and into the top corner. All right, here we go. We're getting started with the third. We're getting started in the third here. Kraken up 4-3. Bjorkstrand saying hi to an old teammate before they get started. Asking him what's new in Columbus. Dunn circling around. His knuckles may be a little bit sore, but Sillinger's face is sore, so. Of course, the bad news in this game, regardless of the outcome, is Andrei Burakovsky leaving with a lower body injury and not returning after just 1 minute 40 played in the first period. That he played on ice, so it was about halfway through the first period. Maybe even not quite, actually. More like 6 or 7 minutes into the first. Here we go. Kraken have it. Dunn has it, and the Kraken into the ice over to Larson. Larson back D to D to Dunn. Dunn up through the neutral zone to Bjorkstrand. Bjorkstrand's going to fling it in. It gets into the corner, and Columbus will get it out the other way. Beniers not back out on the Kraken bench. That's not good. I wonder if they did take a look at him for concussion then. Schwartz shot. Rubbed out. So they're cracking down two of their better forwards here for the third period. Shot, save made. So that does mean that there's a couple of injuries that we'll have to keep an eye on tomorrow, see if there's any news. Obviously, Beniers could still... They haven't ruled out Beniers yet, but it's not a good sign when a player doesn't come out to the start of a period. That's usually when, you know... But yeah, my suspicion would be concussion protocol. Lifted up to the... Turned over. Columbus has it. 1 minute gone in this third period. The Kraken are already down 2 forwards, so it's going to be... We'll definitely have to watch how the legs are... What the Kraken legs look like here at the end of the period. Kraken get the clear to go get a change. They'll have to make sure they're getting good changes here. Keep the legs fresh as much as they can. Missing most of a line. Yeah, Hackstall is having to figure out the lines, obviously, with Beniers missing and Burakovsky missing. So right now it's McCann, Tatar, and Eberle. So McCann taking the center spot from Beniers' center spot right now. Here's Tatar in. Eberle shot. Swallowed up. Man, he like barely taps him, and this guy just this guy just freaking goes after him. Like, look at this. Tatar just like, is it there? Oh, nope. Barely, hardly even grazed him with the stick and just comes at him like he shot his grandma or something. I don't know. I mean, I get defending your goaltender, but that seems a bit aggressive. Here we go. Puck won back on the faceoff in the end by the Blue Jackets, but Gord goes back to fight it away. Kraken keep it in. Done. Off the boards. Out in front. Ah, not quite. Here we go. Columbus back the other way. Decord is going to handle it out. Nice. Starts the breakout. Here we go. The Kraken rushing the other way. Shot in. I think that was... I don't know who that was. Bjorkstrand, I think. But it's Bjorkstrand, Gord, Cartier out there right now. We'll keep an eye on that. It's icing against the Blue Jackets. So we'll go back down to their end of the ice with 17-17 left. Oh! Bjorkstrand, another big reverse hit. That's twice the Kraken have put Blue Jackets players on their backside after attempted hits. And Bjorkstrand looks like he might have felt a little bit of it. Hi, Scott. How's it going, Riley? Welcome in. And that's going to come back for icing against the Kraken. So my Houston Texans just killed the Browns. Yep, saw that.
The only part of that game I didn't like was that Joe Flacco had a tough time. Man, it would have been sweet if it was Deshaun Watson that threw 2 pick-sixes. Have a terrible game and get blown out, but that's all right. Woo! Off a skate. Here's Schwartz the other way. Potential 2-on-1. Over to Tanev. Tanev was standing still on the blue line. I don't know about that, but shot. Oh! Oh! Just got past the stick of Wenberg. The net was the net was open on that side, but just slid away from Wenberg too much. Here's Borgen. He's gonna break it up. Gets it up to Eberle. Eberle into the offensive end. Tatar, a bit of a hit there. Here are the Blue Jackets back the other way. 4 minutes gone in the third. Alexiak the block. There's some guys around the net. Kraken, you gotta just try and... Nice poke there from Eberle. Eberle will dump it to get a change. Eberle is, yep. About to say the same thing that Eddie is saying on the broadcast right now. Eberle's had a heck of a game. Couple of big saves from Decord there. The first one looked like it stung him a bit, but he recovered. Here we go, Bjorkstrand. Oh, just got caught in the feet. Kraken are offside, so they need to tag up. But Columbus with the puck, so no face-off. Yeah, Decord's not about to pull himself out, that's for sure. Fumbled outside the blue line. Here's the Kraken. Come in. Gord. Out in front. Tolvanen. Oh, just through the feet. This is kind of, I think, a little bit more up and down, north and south, and the Kraken probably want to have this game played in the third period here with 2 forwards missing, but here we go. Nope. Columbus back out the other way. Nice play from Wenberg. Almost. Fantilli has it now. Around Schultz. Schultz's stick ends up on the ice, but the Kraken with the puck. Tanev across to Dumoulin, who is now going to have to regroup. Across to Schultz. Schultz back behind the Kraken net to Dumoulin. Dumoulin's going to go up the boards. Oh, nice little pass here to McCann. On the rush, in, shot, scores! Woo! Let's go! Jared McCann, 2 on the night. Who's this pass by? This is Schwartz on the boards. Oh, what a pass from Schwartz. Just right face up against the glass, and he just backhand shovels it right between his legs out into the middle of the neutral zone. McCann picks it up in stride, takes it in, and fires it in the net. What a release pass there from Schwartz. I mean, great play by McCann. Nice, beautiful shot as always, but that happens off the nice little, like, between the legs, behind the back pass of Schwartz. All right, the Kraken still got it. Still within reach for the Blue Jackets. So they got to make sure you sure things up here. Don't give up a response goal. Does come out the other way. Cartier is going to make sure it's not icing. Cartier fighting for it. Oh, nice battle by Cartier, but the Blue Jackets do end up with it back the other way. Shot on net, saved by Decord. Wide open shot from the face-off dot, but Decord saw it all the way and made the save. No rebound allowed, which is obviously something that Decord is very good at. Top corner for McCann, far side. You love to see it. This could be historic after that stupid penalty. Now it's time. That's what we're here for. How's your son doing? Says Riley. He's doing good. Both of them are upstairs. They're doing great. Let's see. Riley said, "Let me get caught up on these chats here real quick." I'm good. I'm to the point of training. I'm good. I'm to the point in training where we have practice matches. Oh, that's fun. That's awesome. Sounds cool. Let's see. Thoughts on the firing of Pete Carroll? I mean, obviously, I thought about doing a video about it. I know, like, typically stick to Kraken, and if I had been feeling better, I probably would have. I like Pete Carroll is easily the greatest coach in Seattle sports history. I mean, I didn't grow up with the Sonics. Obviously, they did win one title, so it's hard to say for sure. But I think what Pete Carroll did with the Seahawks should get him in the Hall of Fame, honestly. And like, it's absolutely ridiculous that he never won Coach of the Year here. But as for the timing, like, we're about to come back here. So just in short, I think timing-wise, they kind of knew that Pete was in his last maybe 2 or 3 years. And this year looks like one where there's going to be a lot of good choices for a potential replacement. And I think that's where the decision came. Even though Pete wasn't ready to be done, I think they basically like made the argument that, you know, we're going to need a new coach here in the next few years, and this might be our best chance to get a good, like, the best possible replacement. So I think long term there's the potential for it to make sense, but it still doesn't feel great right now. Here's Bjorkstrand. Just past Tolvanen on the rush. 13 minutes left in the third. Bjorkstrand. Oh, here we go. Blue Jackets back in. On net. Decord scoops it up, and he'll freeze it for another face-off in the Kraken end of the ice with 12:40 left in the third. Seattle is the best goal song in the NHL. I can't disagree with that. Beautiful pass, beautiful goal. Let's go Kraken. We need another quick goal, says the Grey Witch. Absolutely. Another quick goal would be great. Kraken with 2 in the first, 2 in the second. I would not mind a second here in the third. That's going to come all the way back down. Does not make it for icing. Nice forechecking here from Tanev and then Schwartz, but Columbus does have it coming back the other way. And that's offside, so we'll get a face-off outside the Kraken end of the ice as the Blue Jackets are offside coming in. I think that was Fantilli carrying it in offside. I would be shocked if Dan Quinn isn't the replacement. I think that's what they want. I mean, there's Belichick's out there. John Harbaugh. No, I think, yeah, Dan Quinn is, I think, who they want. But we'll see. It's a two-way street. Here we go. Kraken get it into the other end of the ice. Offensive end here. Wemberg to Dumoulin. Dumoulin. D to D to Schultz, sorry. Down into the corner. It's bouncing around. Eberle has it now. Back around behind the net. Wemberg fighting for it. Tatar. It's Wemberg, Eberle, Tatar as Wemberg takes the shift here on Benir's spot, who still has not returned to the game. And it does come out of the zone. But the Kraken collect it back in the neutral zone. Dumoulin will take it in. Onside. Shot scores! Brian Dumoulin! As long as that's onside, it's a goal and it's a 6-3 Kraken lead. Boy, there's a couple of these that I think you need to save. If you're Columbus, there's a couple of these where you need to save from your goal. Oh, that's just a terrible change, though. I mean, you need a save there. Oh, yep. Drags it behind the defenseman, using him as a screen. He doesn't have a rocket of a shot, Dumoulin, but he picked his spot well using the defenseman as a screen. Just a terrible time to change for Columbus there. Columbus was rolling a change as the Kraken came into the offensive end. All right, so with 11:30 left in the third, the Kraken now have doubled up the score at 6-3. 4 unanswered goals from the Kraken here since going down 3-2 on that 5-on-3 power play. Nope, did not make it into the offensive end. The Kraken have to tag up. They might have. There have definitely been some wacky bounces in this game. One of them ended up in the Kraken net. Oh, bad pass. Thank you. If that pass gets through, it's going to be a grade A opportunity for Columbus. So Kraken need to... Obviously, you like your chances halfway through the third with a 3-goal lead, but it's not time to get sloppy. Are there any Vegas Golden Knights players I have respect for? I don't know if there's any that I don't have respect for. I mean, look, I don't like the Golden Knights that much, but I respect how good that team is. Ooh, there was a little bit of a hold there. They've been letting a lot go this game, though. Tolvanen might have gotten away with a little something there. It's amazing having a goaltender who makes those saves. Ooh, big hit there. we might. Forsland said we might have to have 6 or 7 stars tonight. I know that feeling. That's why we have Patreon. The patrons can help me decide who the 3 are. Gotta limit it down to the 3. Did I put a link down to... Oh, whatever. It's in one of the videos. It's in all of my videos now. Alright, 9 minutes left in the third. The Kraken maintaining this 3-goal lead and really have not given Columbus much here over the last little bit. Thanks in part to a couple missed passes by Columbus in the offensive end, but... You know what? You take those. Whoa! Offside, yeah. McCann was in just a tad too early. Alright, let's check in on those scores now that halfway through third. Oh, the Kings are trying to come back. The Avalanche have come back to tie it. It's 3-3 in Toronto. Oilers have tied it 1-1 in Montreal. The Kings have scored twice to take that lead in half already with just 7 minutes gone in the third. So they're trying to come back. The Ducks are not trying to come back. Penguins have scored once to cut that lead in half. It's 2-1. The team that Kraken are about to play here at 10 a.m. on Monday. Obviously, as we know, Kraken up 6-3. The Jets still have yet to score. It's still 2-0 in Winnipeg against the Flyers with 12 minutes left in that game. Or, sorry, 13 minutes left in that, or 11. One of those numbers. 11 minutes left in that game. Boston has scored in the second to make it 2-1 over the Blues. Good news for the Kraken there. The Coyotes extend their lead 4-0 over the Wild. And still scoreless in Nashville. Oh, and as I say that, the Coyotes extend the lead again. It's now 5-0 over the Wild. So, bad night for Minnesota fans. A hat trick for Bjugstad. How about it? All right, let's catch up on a couple more of these here. CJ Stroud doing it again, man. He's legit going to be something for the Texans. Yeah, I hope so. As long as he can keep his head together. I mean, honestly, I thought the same thing of Deshaun Watson, and then Watson kind of became a head case. But, yeah, Stroud looks good. Looks good. Fun player to watch for sure. I'm actually happy that Seattle has the name Kraken instead of Totems because I would have said something more dirty than Totems during the first season. Vince Dunn and let's see that one. Are they gonna show it again? Here's the hit. Oh yeah, Dunn just kind of gets taken down. I think they got tangled up. Yeah, I don't know. They're fighting for it. Like I think in a game, if they were calling it tighter, I think you look for tripping there, and the Kraken on a power play maybe, but or maybe interference, not tripping. But they've been letting a lot go. I think I'm fine with them not calling that there. Obviously, Dunn wants the call, but Decord making it a little interesting behind the net with 8 minutes left in the third. The Kraken with a healthy lead. Schwartz, whoa, almost collects that. Woo! Almost a big turnover there in the defensive end for the Blue Jackets. Sillinger. Did Decord keep that? Oh my goodness. How does this stay out? What? How? Right here, let's see it. Oh my goodness. Everybody is celebrating. Everybody is celebrating Decord. Boy, I'm telling you, this game could easily be 6-6 or 7-6 if not for Decord. And now they score. Okay. Yep. The Kraken just cannot freaking get it out of their zone again. Well, that definitely makes it a little bit more interesting. Decord absolutely robs one, and the Kraken just cannot. They just leave a guy wide open there. Nice Winter Classic jersey, thank you. As a Vegas fan, we need Marc-Andre Fleury back. I love Marc-Andre Fleury. That was definitely a guy I liked in Vegas, but not there anymore. Quite unceremoniously kicked him out the door. All right, Larson with a guy behind him. Back around the other way. Columbus trying to stretch the ice. Nice! Tanev in! Oh! Tanev with a beautiful steal there, but then fumbled it across the blue line. It was a delayed offside. Yeah, the Kraken need to kind of calm this game down a bit. It's gotten a little too fast, a little too north and south, especially with tired legs out there with two forwards gone. Obviously, Burakovsky and Beniers both have not returned to the game. Burakovsky from somewhat early in the first. And Beniers didn't come back for the third. Here's Dumoulin behind the net. Dumoulin out with it. Columbus definitely pushing. They're throwing everything they have at it. Shots are 34-31 in favor of the Kraken. Obviously 6-4 on the scoreboard. 6 minutes left in the third. Decord is going to play it up to Eberle. Eberle gets it not quite out. Borgen, nice play by Borgen along the boards to win that. He's going to get it out. Gaudreau, nice pass. Shot goes wide. Giving the Kraken another shot, so 35 for the Kraken. Still 31. Well, too many passes for the Blue Jackets, but you'll take it. Oh, nice play by Borgen. There's a guy crashing behind him. It's a good thing that doesn't get through. That comes out. The Kraken can get a change. Closing in on the last 5 minutes now. Columbus has nice jerseys. Really? I think these jerseys are kind of meh to be for me. Whoa, off the glass, another shot misses. The Blue Jackets have missed quite a few shots in this game. Early on in the first, they missed quite a few, and now they're starting to have a hard time getting them on net again. Here's Gord behind the net. We're under 5 minutes left. The Cannon jerseys. I love the Cannon jerseys the Blue Jackets have, but their normal home ones are kind of meh for me. I don't mind the striping, and I like that they have like a unique font, but back down behind the Kraken net in the corner, fumbled, not out. Tolvanen in. Dunn has it behind the Kraken net. He pulls up with it. Fantilli is on him. But Larson has it now. Larson up to Gord. Gord's going to chip it out. That comes all the way back. Nice touch by Gord to make sure it's not icing. The Kraken can get another change. Into the offensive end. Nice move and a great defensive stick there by Alexiak after a great little move there through the Kraken defense. Shot on goal. Off bodies in front. Nice defensive break up there from Tanev as the Kraken rush back the other way. It's 3-on-2 if they can get to it. Oh, the Kraken miscommunication there. Turnover in the neutral zone, but it's out of play. Is it? No, it's not. All right, Kraken have the puck behind their own net. The camera lost track of it for a second. And that's going to come back down. No icing. 3:30 left in the game. Kraken lead by 2. We're definitely starting to get into the time where you think about the goaltender getting pulled. Goaltender's out, so 3 minutes left. It's an empty net for the Blue Jackets. 6-on-5. Here they come in. Fantilli tries to go to a cross, a little too hot to handle. Shot, Decord makes the save. So, almost exactly 3 minutes left. McCann has something to say to Decord there. I don't know that it's Joey shoot the puck. If you get it, shoot it. I don't think it was that, but you know what? That's what we're all hoping for. That's what we're all hoping for. Joey goal, come on. Empty net for Joey. All right. All right. Blues have tied it up. It's 2-2. Oh, the Wild are on the board. Jets still haven't scored. Kings have not scored again. And still tied up in Toronto and Montreal. Both those games are tied. Toronto Avalanche and Oilers Habs. Both those games are still tied up in the later stages of the third. All right, come on. Just a few more minutes, Throat. Just a few more minutes. We got this. Then I'll have to take a little bit of a break, recover, and record the R&R. Stick around for a little bit after the game is over, but probably not as long as I usually do, just because of the voice. Oh, see, those are the good Columbus jerseys. So they show the Penguins scoring goals on them. Face off in the Kraken end. Here's Tanev with it. Shot towards the net. Wide. Icing. All right, here we go. Another face-off, this time won by the Jackets clean. Gaudreau has it. Shot on net. Save made by Decord, or at least ended up on the other side of the net, so it's fine if it's there. I don't care. Here's the shot. Blocked in front by Tanev. Ooh, he's feeling it. Let's try to not lose 3 forwards, eh? That goes wide of the net. The Blue Jackets keep it in. Cycling. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. Shot. Blocked by Schwartz. 2 minutes left. Decord freezes it with 2:02 left on the clock. Tried to just like drag it up in and put it in the corner, but Decord was all over it. Oh, yeah, that shot went right off Tanev's hand. That's not going to feel good. All right, the Kraken, a new set out there, new group of guys. But if one of them's going to score and we could pick which one, it's the guy that has been out there the entire game. Face-off won by Columbus again. Now under 2 minutes. They circle around the outside, just high up by the blue line. Shot blocked by by Tolvanen, sorry. Tolvanen feeling that one a little bit as well. Here's Gaudreau on the side. Out to the other side. They can't get it much past the blue line. Back down behind the net. Down behind the net again. Blocked again. It's going to get out. Gord past the empty net. And there it is. Who was that? Tolvanen that finished it? Yep, Tolvanen finishes it. Kraken score again. It's 7. Nope. That's the wrong score. 7. Almost gave Columbus the 7. That's not how that works. You don't score 3 points at a time. Gord misses the empty net, but around the other side, Tolvanen is able to put it in. All right, that'll do it. 9 in a row for the Kraken. First time in franchise history. Under a minute. Well, 4 goals on 34 shots. Well, 35 shots now. 4 goals on 35 shots for Columbus. So stats-wise, Decord's save percentage is going to take a little hit here, but he honestly was fantastic. A handful of big saves in this game. He had a couple in the first. One spectacular save here in the third, right before actually the 4th goal went in. But yeah, Decord has once again been great in net. Oh, there's another shot. So pad the stats a little bit for Joey. That's a 36th shot allowed on net. So the Kraken are going to win their 9th straight, their 13th consecutive game with points in the standings. Cartier looks like got elbowed in the face or something. Well, they are bumped and bruised. Burakovsky and Beniers left the game and didn't return. They've got a game in a day and a half in Pittsburgh, but they got the win. Points in 13 straight games. The win streak to 9. As Columbus accepts the fate with 5 seconds left. And that does it. That does it. Crack-a-lackin'. Good win against CBJ. It's also now the fifth? It's now the 5th win in a row for the Kraken by a 3-goal margin. They won the Winter Classic 3-0, then 4-1 over Ottawa, then 5-2 over Buffalo, then 4-1 over DC, and now 7-4 over the Blue Jackets. I don't know if the Freeze is still around, but he's got 400 push-ups to crank out. So get to work there. 2 goals against were flukes. Yeah, 2 of them were flukes. 2 of them were... Well, one was a fluky goal. 1 was a nice screen, and 2 were... One's a nice pass, he never has a chance. And the power play one, The power play one, I think Decord probably could have had, but again, it's a 5-on-3 power play, so, like, you have 2 minutes of 5-on-3, you kind of expect a team to score with 2 minutes of 5-on-3, so even if he does get that one, and they said it might have gone off Larson's stick, so maybe that's another, maybe it was a little bit more of a fluke. Solid work, Kraken. Wasn't pretty, but they got the W. It definitely wasn't pretty, but they did get the win. They did a very, very good job of battling through the issues that they did have. Like, again, this is another example of... Excuse me. Another example of the Kraken finding ways to win a game that, like... You know, this is kind of the one thing we hadn't seen on this losing streak, I'll say, is... like a particularly bad bounce, or like the kind of stuff where they just weren't getting, like early on in the season where there's just terrible bounces that would go against them. The kind of stuff where it's like, you know, it's hockey, there's going to be lucky bounces both ways. But the Kraken were definitely getting their bad luck early on in the season. They really had not had to deal with that during this stretch of games here for the most part, but they had a couple of those. Definitely wasn't their best game defensively in the first period. And really in patches throughout the rest of the game as well. Obviously, they lose Burakovsky. They lose Burakovsky again. They lose Beniers for the third. So they're down 1 forward for most of the game. They're down 2 forwards for the third period. And they still battle through all of that to come away with a fairly decisive victory here. So, and yeah, it's against a team that you should be able to do that. But, I mean, all the teams are in the NHL can win it on any night. Even the Sharks. I mean, they didn't win tonight, but even the Sharks. As far as other games, let's see. End of the second, it's tied at 2 in St. Louis with the Bruins. The Blackhawks are on the board first against the Stars. Looks like the Jets' win streak is coming to an end. The Jets are going to drop to the Flyers. 2-0 still. And it is still tied up in Montreal. Oilers. The Avs came back. The Avs scored. Oh, the Maple Leafs are up 3-0 after the first. The Avs scored 2 in the second and 3 in the third to win it in regulation. I'm assuming one of those had to be an empty net. No, those are all 5-on-5. Wow. Wait, this is at 9:52. That has to be an empty net. Okay, that has to be an empty net. But still, Avs come back from down 3 and end up winning this one. But Kraken, 9th win in a row, 13th game in a row with points. Again, not pretty. 2 injuries that'll definitely be the news tomorrow that we'll have to watch for is the news on Burakovsky and Beniers. Burakovsky, who knows? Just cannot catch a break. Got to wrap him in bubble wrap or something, but unfortunately just can't stay healthy. Beniers, I'm guessing concussion protocol based on the hit he took. His head goes right into the top of the boards, right in the corner there on the Kraken bench. Obviously, like, nice to see. It's good to see Dunn come and take exception to that and absolutely pummel Sillinger. Unfortunately, it took Beniers out of the game. But yeah, great game from the Kraken. And with that, I am going to call this one a bit earlier than I usually would, just because of the Steve Dangle rage incoming. We'll catch up on Dookie Lukey in here. Are you winning, son? Oh, the Kraken are winning. That's right. That's right, Lukey. Lukey. That's right, Luke. Yeah, Kraken are winning 9 games in a row, 9-game win streak, 13 games with points in the standings. Now they have more points in this 13-game streak than they had through the entire season leading up to that point. So the Kraken have really turned their season right around 180 in these last 13 games. Now in a playoff spot. As long as Nashville loses today, they're in a playoff spot. I mean, still half the season left, so that's game 42 of 82. So they still got 40 games left, but obviously huge work from the Kraken. Catch up on a few more chats, and then we're going to call it here so I can try and preserve a little bit of my voice for the R&R that I'll have to record here in a bit. Let's see. If the other results hold, only 1 point behind LA. Yeah, LA has fallen off, which if there's a team if there was a team of those 3 that took off in the Pacific at the start of the season that I expected to fall off, it was definitely Vancouver, and that's not because of how I feel about Vancouver, that's just what the stats said, but Vancouver's, like, LA's the one that has fallen off, and Vancouver's the one that's kept going to kind of the, advanced stats can only do so much, and those 2 things happened in the exact opposite way the advanced stats would have predicted, so yeah, Steve Dangle rage incoming. Go Kraken, go Kraken. Solid work, Kraken. Thanks for streaming, Absolutely Chaos Kid. Thank you all for joining. Great stream. I think the first win of the season in a stream, so we'll get more of these going. It's been a while since the last one, obviously with the holidays and all that, so we'll get a couple more of these going here for sure over the course of the regular season. And obviously, if we make playoffs, stream road games in the playoffs. So I'll stream most of the road games in the playoffs, if not all of them. The only way I wouldn't is if they played the Canucks, then I might try to make it up there for one, but we'll see. Anyway, that's a long time down the road, and assuming the Kraken make the playoffs. So there's a lot of assumptions to go into that. We can handle that when it comes. Let's see. We're in a better position than we were a couple weeks ago or a little bit ago. Yep. Last couple here. This was fun. Thanks, Scott and guys. Go Kraken. Absolutely. Thank you, Grey Witch, for joining. Appreciate it. And yeah, everyone else that's joined, thank you very much. Obviously a fun game. Little rough patches here and there, but it kept it interesting. And Joey, a couple huge saves, even if his stats don't look as good as they have throughout the rest of this stretch of games. Kraken with 7 goals, so that's always fun. And as long as we aren't going to be without Burakovsky or Beniers for an extended period of time, then all's well that ends well. Good stuff, Scott. Keep it going. Appreciate it. All right, one last time, thank you all very much for joining. If you could drop a like or subscribe if you haven't already on your way out, that would be much appreciated. Help support the channel. If you really want to help support and you want to help decide the Kraken 3 stars for this game as I record the R&R, there's a link to Patreon, I think, down below. If it's not down below, it's in the description of all my recent videos, so you can find it there. Otherwise, it's Cheap Seat Sports on Patreon, as you can see on this side over here. And other than that, thank you all very much for joining. Get the R&R recorded here soon and out tomorrow morning as usual. And then, yeah, busy day. We got power rankings on Monday and then back-to-back games for the Kraken Monday morning and Tuesday. So, busy few days here on the channel, and I appreciate you all for joining. Until next time, as always, stay safe out there, be good to each other, God bless, and go Kraken! Now I click end stream, and there's a weird amount of time of pause, but thank you all for joining.